Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a best of 2018. Now, today's date is February 5th, so I'm kind of late on this, but let's just pretend that I'm not, and we're gonna continue with this video anyways. Basically, these are just gonna be the products that I feel are worth your dough, your ducats, your money, your dollars. I just want to show you guys the products I was using in 2018, the stuff that really stood out to me, stuff that I found out about in 2018, stuff that I barely started using in 2018. So yeah, if you guys want to see what I like and what products I'm about to show you, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I'm going to be talking about the products in the order that I would use them on my face. Mostly because I don't want to leave anything out, and I know that if I just pick something up and put it back, it will cause me a lot of havoc. I'm going to start out with primers. So what I would use first is the Glossier Priming Moisturizer. It looks like this. Super just simple packaging. It's in a squeezy tube. Basically it says it's a buildable hydrating cream, and what I really love this for is I use it on myself. I also have another one in my kit. I love to use this on clients that have normal to drier skin types, just because I feel like we all need that extra moisture in our skin before we go in with makeup. And I know a lot of people kind of skip moisturizer and just go on to primer whenever they're gonna do their makeup, but I just feel that the primer and the foundation and the powder just sit way better when you have that first hydrating layer underneath your makeup. So I really like it. It's like a very, it's like a lotion-y feel, but once you like rub it into your skin, it sinks in and it gets a little bit tacky. So I think that's where like the priming aspect comes into play. The next product actually took me by surprise because I honestly just ordered this on a whim because I just got super excited when they first launched. But this is a Fenty Beauty primer. It's called the Soft Matte Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. Wow, that's a mouthful. I didn't think I was gonna like this because the name literally says soft matte, and I don't like my skin to look matte at all. I'm not the type of person who actually likes my skin to look rather dewy either. I just like it to look nice and healthy and just have like a luminous glow to it without looking wet or too dry. But I thoroughly enjoy this. I don't put this all over my face. I just actually use it on the center of my face because I feel like that's where my makeup tends to break up the fastest. So I love this. I'm like, this is probably like the one product that I'm super shook that I actually really like. I definitely will be repurchasing this when I run out, and I'm barely like halfway, and I got it at the very beginning of 2018. Okay, so next I want to go into foundations, and I have 3 different foundations that I am absolutely obsessed with. Till now, there's one more that came out like maybe a couple weeks ago and I love, but doesn't count for 2018. But these 3 foundations I still use to this day. So the first one is going to be the Natural Radiant Longwear foundation. I couldn't find the name, but I'm sure you guys have seen this over YouTube everywhere. I've noticed with this foundation, I've talked to a lot of people, it's either you love it or you hate it. A lot of people actually don't like this as much as I thought they would. But if I honestly had to pick one foundation for the rest of my life, it would really for sure be the Natural Radiant by NARS. I love the coverage. I think it's super buildable, medium to full coverage. The texture is like my preferred texture. It's not liquidy and it's not moussey or like a cream. It's right in the middle. So if you put it on your hand, it's not very runny, but it's not like bouncy either. I just really enjoy it, and I think it just gives like a really nice healthy glow to the skin. Just like I mentioned prior, that's my favorite type of finish. It's not matte, it's not too dewy, it's just right in the middle. It's a really nice satin finish. Like I said, the coverage is there. You don't need a lot. I use about 1.5 pumps for my entire face. And then if I have like an extra problem area, I'll just take a little bit extra and then I'll like focus it in that area, and it layers and builds up very nicely. So I love this foundation. The second one I was actually super surprised because I've never tried anything from this brand except a mascara, I believe, when I was like in 10th grade. But this is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. Now, I am always super skeptical when I hear a foundation say foundation and concealer, because it's like, do we really not use concealer? No, I'm still going to. So this one kind of surprised me because I've always known Clinique to be kind of like a grandma brand. I know that might offend some of you that like live or die for Clinique, but that's just the way like I've seen it until I came across this foundation. I love it. It has that big doe foot applicator, watch, like this. So it's not my preferred method of foundation bottle. I would have preferred a pump or a squeeze tube or something, just because I feel like when you take it out of the stopper, a lot of it comes off, so I find myself having to dip back in it quite frequently. But I just absolutely love the coverage. I think the coverage is really, really nice. I would say it's a little bit more full than the NARS Natural Radiant, but I just love the way it sits on my face. It's super long lasting. I wore this foundation to Stagecoach last year. It did me so well. My makeup didn't break up throughout the day, especially like in my nose area. That's like the first area of my face to kind of like lift and come up and get really creasy, cakey. This also doesn't crease in my fine lines, which I'm very, very happy about. Like, it doesn't crease at all. Whereas the NARS Natural Radiant foundation, after a couple hours, it kind of sinks into my lines, but not too intensely. But I love this foundation. I have it in the shade 1 Linen. I don't love their range of colors. They tend to lean very beige pink undertones, and I'm definitely more yellowy, golden, and yeah. Another plus about this foundation, which I know is not obviously super affordable, but it's definitely not like $45 like the NARS foundation. I think this one retails for $29. And then the last foundation I want to talk about, I won't take too much time on this just because I know so many people use this. It's the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I have it in the shade Vanilla. So I had it for a while, but I never like really used it. And what I find that this foundation reminds me of is like a MAC Studio Fix foundation, which is one of my holy grails. Like, that is one of my ride or die foundations. That is one that is always stocked in my freelance kit. But what I notice more about the Too Faced foundation rather than the Studio Fix is that it sits better on drier skin, because I feel like with Studio Fix, I always have to mix it with an oil or I really have to moisturize, but I find that the finish and the lasting power is very, very similar to the Born This Way, but this one just, I feel like, looks better on my skin. It doesn't emphasize my texture. It doesn't make me look too dry or, you know, emphasize like my dry patches, because I noticed with the Studio Fix, if you are dry and you have like some texture, it does kind of emphasize it a little bit. But I love that foundation for like more combo to oilier skin types, and this one I prefer for a drier skin type like myself. Alright, so I'm gonna move on to concealer. I have two to talk to you about. The first concealer I want to talk to you guys about is the new MAC Studio Fix 24 Hour Smooth Wear Concealer. So it looks like this. This came out towards the end of 2018, but I fell in love with this so quickly. So I do like a full coverage concealer, but not for every day, just because I don't find that my under eyes are like a problem for me. I don't really have super dark circles, discoloration, and things like that. Maybe I will in the future, but as of right now, I don't. So I like this one because it's medium coverage. It blends out super, super easily. I don't put on a lot, and it still really gives me like a nice coverage. I'm wearing it under my eyes today, and I have it in the shade NC15. Which I think is a really good brightening shade for me. The shade range for the Studio Fix concealer is really weird. Like, I feel like you shouldn't order them, or at least look at swatches, just because I feel like they kind of go up and down in a weird way, and like the cool tones and the warm tones are very mixed up. So I would definitely like look at swatches or go in store, but this is a great everyday concealer. The second concealer I wanted to talk about, I literally have 3 different colors because I am so obsessed with it. It is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. So this concealer is really, really what I wanted the Shape Tape to be for me. Shape Tape is awesome because it's so full coverage and it keeps that coverage when you blend it out. but for me personally, I can't stand it just because it makes my under eyes look so freaking dry. Like, no matter if I use it and go in with like a lighter coverage powder, a hydrating powder, just any type of whatever, I just cannot use it. It just makes it look so crepey and dry. This, like I said, is everything that I wanted the Shape Tape to be. It gives me that really nice full coverage, and it keeps that coverage when I blend it out, whether it's with a brush or a beauty blender. And I just really like the shade range. I love using this to contour. I have a few of the other shades in my kit, but what I use to contour is C13. Well, I shouldn't say contour, just because it's super like orangey, so I do use this for a bronzer. I was using this in the summer to give me like that JLo glow, and I absolutely adored this. All right, continuing with face products, I just wanted to mention this cream bronzer that I discovered last year, and this is by NUDEStix. It is their all over face color in Bondi Bay. So on one side it's like a cream, and then the other side is the brush, which you can see I've never touched because I generally don't use like brushes that come with products. But I love this because it's such a good in the middle shade of being like warm and cool. So I use this as an all over like cream contour. I use this to warm up the skin. I wouldn't suggest this color if you're like darker than maybe NC 35, because I think it could lean a little bit gray on you. But if you are lighter than NC 35, then I definitely think this cream contour or cream bronzer would look really, really nice. I love the formula too, because it doesn't like pick up the foundation underneath and make it look patchy or make it look muddy. It blends really nicely on top. As far as like powder, this for sure took me all the way through 2018. This is the Maybelline Fit Me number 05 Fair Loose Finishing Powder. So I love this powder. I recommend it to all my students just because it's so inexpensive, and it's a really great powder to have in your kit. They have a really nice array of colors, and like I said, it's just so cheap and accessible since it's at the drugstore. Moving on to blush, I have two I want to talk about. So I'm wearing this one right now. This is the Milani Romantic Rose. This is part of their like flowery blush collection. It looks like this. As you can see, I literally have used it so much, and the rose imprint is still there, which like blows my mind. But I'm wearing it today. Like I said, I really like blushes that give like a nice like pop of color, but it's like very subtle pop. So you'll see the next blush I talk about is like, it's almost like a wash out version of like what I wanted a color to be. So like I love pink blush, but like you could see this is very subtle pink. I think it lasts nicely on the cheeks. The color's really nice for like an everyday blush, and I really like how it's inexpensive. The next one is kind of a little bit more pricey, but I did get it with the sale. This is the Melt Cosmetics blush in Honey Thief. So this one's gonna lean more towards like the peachier, warmer side, but I really like this one because again, it's like an everyday blush, but I can use it when I do like more dramatic looks like this. I can use it just like with that no makeup look, and it looks like my cheeks are just flushed. And I really, really enjoyed this one too because it has like that really nice sheen to it, so it gives you that like healthy glow in your cheeks. Really quick, I actually did want to mention two brushes in this video. I mean, I use so many different brushes that I just feel like that would take up its own video, but two that I did discover last year was the Kat Von D number 70 brush. So I freaking could not live without this brush now that I found it, just because like it gets so razor sharp thin like when you're picking up a pomade that it lets me get a very nice clean line underneath my brows. And if you were to see my brows without any product in them, they're very like almost zigzag on the bottom, so I need something that gives me that nice sharp line, and that's what I was finding wrong with a lot of the other brushes like MAC and Anastasia. They didn't get as thin, and since this is synthetic, I mean I think the other ones are too, but whatever these bristles are made of, I'm just for sure, I absolutely love this. This is my new favorite brow brush. The second brush I wanted to talk about was from Boulevard Beauty, and it's their B4 brush. Now, this is not generally a shape that I would think to use for foundation, but when I was teaching, we sell this at the store that I teach at, and I just randomly picked this up to, you know, do a demonstration, and I freaking love this brush to do my foundation. Also to blend out my concealer because it fits perfectly under my eyes. I also use this to blend out my cream bronzer, cream contour. It's just a really nice brush, and I would never, like I said, think that this shape would work for that type of thing, but on the side it's fluffy, and then from the front and back it's like a flat, more triangular shape. So I absolutely love this brush. It's super affordable. I don't know at the top of my head how much it costs. I just know it is an affordable brand. So again, it's by Boulevard Beauty and the number is B4. All right, so moving on to eyeshadow palettes. So the first one I want to talk about is, I'm sure, a lot of people's favorite, and I was like, I knew that I was gonna like this because I absolutely adore Dose of Colors Formula eyeshadows. Like, I love their mattes. Like, they are just amazing. And then their new Block Party eyeshadows are beautiful as well. So I already knew that I was gonna like this palette, but when I first saw it, I was kind of like meh about it just because of the matte colors. Like, I wanted something to stand out a little bit better with the matte colors, but then when I played around with this palette, I fell in love. Like, I just absolutely adore these different shimmery shades. They're beautiful. So I think you could do a lot with this palette, and I've traveled a few times ever since I got it earlier last year, and it really is like a really nice palette to travel with because you have your matte colors, you have your staple mattes, and then you have all these pops of colors that you can use to do different looks, and not to mention the formula is amazing. The second palette I wanted to talk about was the Gemini palette from Melt Cosmetics. Now, I did a video on this palette probably like when I first got it, I don't know, towards the end of 2018. And I really, really liked it. Like, these were the first shadows I tried from Melt. And I thought to myself, man, I really like this palette, but I don't know how often I'm gonna use the greens. So it's an amazing array of shades. You get like a lot of options, but they're super cohesive and they go well together, and you can make a lot of different looks with this. But like I said, I thought to myself, how often am I gonna use this side? And I was very, very surprised because I think this palette is what set off my love for green eyeshadow. And I think I really do truly get my use out of this one, especially because I know this palette is kind of pricey, and I don't know if it's still in stock or available or they're gonna bring it back or what, but I definitely recommend this if you can. When I posted that video, a lot of people said that they didn't make a lot of these, but then they brought it back, and I don't know. Whatever, but I do know it is pricey, but to me it is worth the money because the shadows are awesome. They're a really good size, and yeah, I get a lot of use out of it. The last palette came at me by surprise because I have never been a fan of Morphe shadows, like ever. The only Morphe shadows I really truly loved was the original Jaclyn Hill palette, and then some of the ones from the Vault collection, and they're newer ones. I would say mostly they're newer ones. The eyeshadows that were like in this packaging that look like whatever 35O, I wasn't a fan of those. I just thought they were super powdery and the payoff wasn't worth all of the fallout. But I, for some reason, was drawn to this palette, and this is the 35M, the Boss Mood palette. So this is what it looks like. It is such an interesting array of colors, but for some reason, I just think they look so beautiful all put together in this palette. I feel like I can get a lot of different use out of this palette, and I just think that the shimmers in here are gorgeous. They really do pack a punch. The mattes, see, the problem with the Morphe shadows that I had prior to them like kind of revamping their line was just that, like I said, the shadows were super powdery, and I didn't feel like they like, okay, I would do a look and then at the end it would look like I only used one shadow and it just looked really muddy, and they just kind of all blended together, and it didn't look like I spent any time on my makeup when I had spent like an hour. So this is, I feel like the quality of the mattes are amazing. They really blend out, they perform really well, and I know like Morphe is known for being super inexpensive, and you get all these shadows for I believe it was like under $30, plus you can use like a code. So yeah, I really, really recommend this palette. I know they have one that kind of looks similar to this, like in their, like the way that they're arranged, but instead of green, it's like blue. But I don't really wear blue eyeshadow too much, so that's why I said I was drawn to this one, because I really liked the greens. Okay, so for liner, I have two. So the first one we sell at my work, and this one is the LA Splash, the Art Kitect Waterproof Slim Eyeliner. Now, I generally don't really like eyeliners that come in like a pen form. My favorite holy grail eyeliner hands down is the NYX matte eyeliner. I think that one's amazing. It is so black and matte, and I love using that to go over like after I put on lashes and I need to like darken up the lash line or, you know, take away the shine from the glue. So that one's like my holy grail hands down. But I discovered this one and I really, really like it because it has like almost like a brush tip, but it feels like a felt tip, like when you use it on your eyes. It gives you a really nice clean, sharp line, and I love doing my wings with this just because I feel like it makes it so easy for me to get that super crisp, like, you know, detail when you're trying to do your line and you want it to like tail off super little at the end. This really allows for that. The only downside is that it's not like a shiny finish, but it's not super matte the way I like it. But I really do like this just for creating wings, and if I'm in a rush, I really like this eyeliner, and I feel like it's fairly inexpensive, so that's another plus. The next eyeliner that I fell in complete love with is the brush stroke liner from MAC in Brush Black. Now again, I was really taken back because I've never been a fan of like MAC eyeliners, especially like liquid ones. I thought they were really crappy. I thought that they flaked off really easily, but this one is this is like one of the blackest black, like in pen form eyeliners that I've ever found. And the tip is just so nice and precise. I use this on my clients, you know, considering that like I sanitize it correctly. I have one in my kit, but I just love this one because it's just so black, and then on top of that it dries completely matte. So what I found is that I'll use this one to do like my wing, because like I said, for some reason this one I just feel like I could do my wing really easily with, and then I'll do this to like fill it in and then do like the lid portion. But I like these two in conjunction with each other, but that is kind of bougie of me, so sorry. So for lashes, my hands down favorite lashes of all freaking time will forever be Intoxicating by Flutter. I started using this when they first came out, maybe like 2-3 years ago. I've gone through like probably like 100 pairs. I'm not even kidding. Every time I go to Namie's, I pick up 1 or 2 pairs of these because I love them. And then my best friend really likes them too for when she goes out. I just think they're so nice and fluttery. They are synthetic lash, but what I love about it is that it doesn't look shiny. With a lot of synthetic lashes, I can't stand when they look fake and shiny and almost plastic-like. These do not have that effect. So they look like they are mink, but they're not. They're synthetic. And they really are long, but I find with my eye shape, I need something that really like packs a punch and looks dramatic, or else it looks like I'm not even wearing lashes at all. So I love those. This will forever be my favorite lashes. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. Thank God. I'm like so winded. I'm like so winded. I feel like I'm so out of shape, but I swear I go to the gym every day. I don't understand this. Okay, one thing I did want to talk about, which is like a kind of like a special eyeshadow type of thing. All of the Stila glitter and glows are amazing. Like, I live for those. Those are awesome to like really vamp up an eyeshadow look, or to add glitter without, you know, using loose glitter. Though I think that was like the most genius invention Stila made, because they really do pack a punch. You have some that are just more of like that glitter with no base color to them, and then you have like the blue ones or the purple ones that really have that base color but also have the glitter. So I love those. But this is the Shimmer and Glow, and with the Shimmer and Glows, I feel like a lot of them are hit and miss. I have 4 of them, and this is honestly the only one that I truly love. But I adore this color. I feel like it's in the middle of like a silvery gold, but it is beautiful on brides, okay? Like, this is the one thing I use on brides all the time. If someone asks me for bridal glam, I will use like a nice soft brown in the crease with like a deeper chocolatey brown in the outer corner, a little wing, and then this all over the lid. It is gorgeous. This is called Starlight. I highly recommend you guys get your hands on this. I don't know if you could tell, but like those little lines right there, this is what I used. These are also really versatile too, because you don't have to use the applicator. I'll just put some on the back of my hand and then maybe use them for like a cut crease, or like I did right here, some detail work. I just honestly could not say one bad thing about this. I love the way it dries. It's amazing. You need it. Stila Starlight, go get it. Another random product I wanted to mention, this is Inglot Duraline. This is a professional makeup artist favorite. This really saves so much money for makeup artists, like working freelance makeup artists or, you know, celebrity makeup artists, whatever. Especially when we use cream products like cream eyeliner, gel eyeliner, or some sort of like dip brow product, anything that's like really creamy that dries out easily. Oh, even like paint pots. This is amazing. This like saves me from having to buy something over and over again. So you literally just need the tiniest drop, if not like half a drop, like just the tiniest amount. That's why it's lasted me so long. It lasted me the whole year and I barely bought a new one like 2 weeks ago. But I always keep this stocked in my kit. I use it for myself because I don't wear makeup every day and I don't wear like a dip brow every day, so mine dries out quite quickly. So I don't like to repurchase it too often. So if I have this, then it saves me from having to do that because it just makes it super creamy and pigmented and it makes it glide on. This with the any type of gel liner makes it super black. It almost gives it like a liquid eyeliner feel, but like it dries completely matte and super black. I love using it with the Inglot 77 liner, so I highly recommend getting this, especially if you use a lot of cream products and you find that it dries out a lot. So it's the Inglot Duraline. Okay, so the lips are my favorite thing to talk about just because I have so many lip colors, lip pencil, lip glosses. Like that's like my #1 thing that I hoard when I see that something new comes out. But I'm only gonna mention the one lip liner for the category just because I feel like mostly all the lip liners I use are either MAC or NYX, but what really surprised me in 2018 was that Morphe came out with lip liners. Now, I know that they had some type of lip liner in the past, and I had gotten one and it was like complete crap, but when they redid their line, they came out with a bunch of new colors, and this one specifically is my favorite. It's called Spiffy. It looks like this. I'll swatch it for you. So it looks like that. It reminds me of a tiny bit lighter version of MAC Strip Down, which is like one of my holy grail lip liners. But this one is so creamy and affordable, and I highly recommend this one if you are only using cruelty-free makeup or if you just don't want to buy like an expensive lip liner. This one I think is like $3 or $4, which is insane because it's lasted me like almost all of 2018 and I absolutely love it. Okay, narrowing down lip colors was so freaking hard for me. Like I said, those are my things. Like I just love lips. Like doing lips is my favorite, at least on myself. But I narrowed it down to 5, which I'm actually very proud of. And 2 of them, I just want to talk about the formula. So I feel like these are super underrated. These are great everyday lipsticks. They're super affordable too. These are the NYX Liquid Suedes, and I have a bunch of different shades, and I honestly love wearing these. These are super comfortable on the lips. They dry down to a matte, but they're not transfer proof. So when I think of something that's not transfer proof, I know it's not going to be like hella drying or making my lips like super chapped and like flaky. I can wear this for hours and hours and hours and the color stays on without like really drying out my lips. So I love these, specifically the shades Sandstorm and Soft Spoken. And like I said, they're so affordable. It's NYX. You can get them at the drugstore, you can order it online, you can go to a NYX store, whatever, but these are awesome. The next one I want to talk about is my holy grail lip color of all time. I have repurchased this probably like, this is my 3rd tube. I wear this more than anything else in my collection, and that says a lot because like I said, I have so many lipsticks or liquid lipsticks, whatever, but this is the Jeffree Star Celebrity Skin, and this is like always in my purse because whatever lip color I'm gonna go out with, it doesn't matter. I won't even take anything unless it's like obviously a red or something, but if it's like anywhere near a nude, which most of the time it is, I just reapply this, and oh my gosh, this is like such a beautiful color. I'll show you guys. I think I already mentioned it, but it is Celebrity Skin by Jeffree Star. This is what it looks like. It is like my perfect nude of all time. It's like a cool but warm brown but pink. Like if I had to describe myself in one color, it would be this one. Like I absolutely love it. Not to mention Jeffree Star's formula is one of my favorite. They are so versatile. Now I don't want to throw shade or tea or whatever. I don't know what the young kids say these days, but I used to try to use the Kat Von D Everlasting lipsticks on my eyes, on my waterline, obviously on my lips, but just because I loved her shade range that she came out with. She was one of the first ones that had like a really eclectic line of shades, but it just, her formula wasn't my favorite. Like, it was very liquidy, they're very hit and miss. But with Jeffree's, his range is awesome. Like, literally, I can't even describe to you what type of shades he has. And once I feel like he's run out of shades, he comes out with new ones and I'm like, what the hell? Like, how did you even think of this shade? But yeah, his formula is amazing. They all have a really nice scent, but it goes away. It's not heavy. It's super comfortable on the lips. They dry down. They are transfer proof, but like I said previously, you would think that they would be super matte and drying, but this is not. I just, I freaking love this. And you could tell, like, the whole packaging is like rubbed off everywhere. Okay, the last liquid lipstick I wanted to talk about, or lipstick in general, is the Dose of Colors collab with I Love Sarai, aka Karen. She is one of my favorite influencers. She always stays in her lane, but she's so gorgeous and she does amazing makeup. I remember when I first started out with MAC, she was actually still working for MAC and I saw her at an update one time. So that's just a weird stalker thing that I wanted to throw in there. But this is in the color Nude Chica. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'll swatch it for you. I adore the Dose of Colors formula. I would have to say Dose of Colors and Jeffree Star formula are my all-time favorite, and they're tied because they are very, very similar. Dose of Colors has a lot more nudes that I enjoy wearing, like more wearable colors, and then Jeffree Star does have nudes, but he has more of those crazy colors. So I love going to both brands just because I feel like the formula is very, very similar. Doesn't dry out my lips, but there's such a good amount of colors that I can choose from. So Nude Chica is what I'm wearing today with the gloss on top that I'm going to talk about next, but this is it. As you can see, it's definitely lighter, it's more pinky, but I really like this for brides. I keep one extra one in my kit, and I'm really sad that it's limited edition, but I do think you could still order this one online. That's why I'm mentioning it. But I really, really like this because it's more pinky, but it is like more of like a warm pinky color, which I don't know if it's translating on camera, but maybe on my lips you can tell. It's definitely a more warmer pink, and I find that with brides, like especially that are more yellow, olive, golden undertone, they tend to like this one more than something like more of a cool tone pink that I feel is more like a traditional bridal lip color, but I really do prefer Nude Chica for my golden undertone brides. All right, last product I wanted to talk about. Oh my gosh, I am so out of breath, like this is ridiculous. Finally, we got to the last product, so thank you so much if you stayed to the end, but I just wanted to quickly mention the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow. So I know there's new colors that has come out. I do own those, but I didn't, you know, obviously use them all in 2018. But the original Fenty Glow color is amazing. I have it on top of Nude Chica. I think this is my second tube. Yeah, I did repurchase it probably at the end of 2018. And again, this is the color that I always go to. Like, this looks beautiful on top of any lipstick. It gives your lips like this amazing shine, and it really is like a very unique gloss because it has like this moussey, like airy texture to it. It's not sticky at all. It's super comfortable on the lips, and it's one of those lip glosses that doesn't like disturb the lipstick you have on the bottom, because if it wears off, your lipstick will still be there. Whereas if I wear a liquid lipstick with another type of gloss on top, just say for instance the MAC lip gloss, I love the shade range that they have, and I really like how glossy it makes my lips look, but when that wears off, my lipstick is like completely gone. But with this, it's still there, and it has just a beautiful color to it. It really is like my favorite gloss of all time. So yeah, that's basically it. Those are all the products I wanted to talk about. Hopefully this video isn't like 40 minutes long. I know my videos tend to be long, but actually I like watching videos that are longer. I feel like you get more one-on-one time with the person. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what other videos you want to see. I really want to start incorporating like how I am a professional makeup artist in the industry, and I want to talk to you guys about that. So if you have any video ideas, I just said video. If you have any video ideas, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Go follow me on Instagram at Nikki Sunshine with 3 E's at the end. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Mwah. Bye.